Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you'd like to reach out to us on social media, you can find us on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Casting Roles ILM. Our show is uploaded on our YouTube channel every Friday, but with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. So ticket takers, after traveling to the island nation of Nuevia and dealing with some familial matters, you then set sail to, I don't know, the place you were destined to go, like in game a month ago, but like literally a year and a half ago, we were talking about eventually we'll get to Bogtown. But you said eventually we'll get to Bogtown.
The place we were supposed to go 5 bad decisions ago.
Yes. But you made your way towards the island nation of Bogtown. Safe travels there and arrived with not as safe of a landing as Kaimana brought the ship down into the water with force. But you were in the island community of Bogtown, a large port community within the nation of Alyria, where many ships are in the harbor here, including the one that you are set to meet with, the Seablade. You made your way over to the Seablade, met some of the members of the crew, including the beautiful and mysterious Captain Aryan Squall Leader, who informed you that they were waiting for the arrival of their navigator in order to disembark on the trip to Azalor. Over the course of that, information was kind of shared in which you realized that, like, she doesn't know who the navigator is, even though that Abel and Kaimana, who've both been on the Seablade, have met the navigator. Aryan acted as if, or said that she did not even recognize the name that you were speaking. She invited you to go to the local Wayfarers tavern, and on your way, you saw a woman kind of weeping in the side of the road. And when you approached her and asked her kind of what was wrong, she said, "Oh, I don't know." And you noticed that there were 2 names on the shop. And when you asked her who the other name was, she just said, "I don't know who that is." So ticket takers, standing here in Bogtown, on their way to the Wayfarers, but with this revelation fresh in your minds, what would you all like to do?
Okay. I've seen a decent amount of weird critters in my life.
Sure.
Indeed, it's like what I built my existence around. Can I roll nature to see if there's like any kind of creature I've encountered before that would mess with your memories?
Sure, go ahead.
Can I roll history?
Yep.
Or like some like, I don't think Arcana would be right for this, but like history for more.
History or Arcana would be fine.
Okay. Do I get advantage?
No, it is not. Does not connect to the Veil or Fey Fiend or Undead.
That's a 20, Josh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I got a natural 20.
A natural 20.
That moves me to a 20.
Yeah, it's one of those rare moments where when you're rolling to remember something, the level of your roll is probably directly tied to also the backstory of your character. Unfortunately, neither of you have ever encountered a creature or know that there are plenty of magical effects that can lead to people losing their memory or having their memory altered. You just came from Nuevia, where Abel at least has heard of somebody doing that to an entire nation of people. But as far as you are aware, you don't know the creature that's able to do that.
Can I roll to see if this was similar to the spell that was described to me?
You can make an Arcana check. Mm-hmm.
But because I rolled a nat 20, do I have like a really cool brain blast moment before realizing that I don't know anything about
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Like you go through and it's just like this like cataloging of like like the Rolodex in your brain. And it's like literally like I have thought through every creature I've ever learned about and it matches none of them.
which is helpful.
Super helpful, yeah. It definitely, it's something that
a lot of creatures.
It would be something that you are unfamiliar with, or it's not a creature that's causing this.
Right. Okay.
I rolled a 26.
26. From what has been described, it doesn't seem like it could be something like a modify memory spell, because modify memory literally can only unless it's incredibly amplified as it was with your mother, it can only erase like 10 minutes of somebody's memory. So this would have to be if Elian Aquitaine ever actually existed, or Ariane Squall-Eater is not fucking with you, then literally this person has been completely erased from her memory going back the however long they've ever known each other. Yeah.
Kaimana just goes,
Can I do something?
Sure. Yeah.
I want to do a sending really quick. Well, you already did a thing, so it's my turn to do a thing.
Okay, so
I'm gonna
you
do
take out your
sending.
dulcimer, you're casting sending.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
And then I'm gonna send to Alyria and be like, who all?
Oh, echo.
God. So I would be like, who all went on the excursion? To like, who left for Bogtown? Who are all the people? Basically, I'm trying to see if we're all still like not metagaming jerks. Like, I gotta make sure we didn't lose someone here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Also, roll a D100 for me, Jury. So you
second taker that we all forgot
secret
about.
6
That's what I'm saying. Well, like,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't know. The thing
no, that's true.
awesome.
Yeah.
What happened to Patrick?
What an implication.
58.
58. Okay, Alyria gets back to you and she says, "What an odd question, Jordan. It was you and Marlo and Abel and Saurus and Kaimana. You left the rats behind."
Okay, I count all of us and I'm like, okay, we're all here.
Yeah. 58.
guys. Yeah, 58. All right, guys, we're all good.
So you're standing next to a bunch of like grain bins and like storage things or whatever, Jury, but you cast the sending spell, and like as the spell goes through the dulcimer, it kind of vibrates along, and then suddenly like right next to you, like a bag of wheat just explodes in fire.
Oh, that's not what I cast. I didn't cast that.
Is your dulcimer out of tune?
No.
I use control water and put out the fire.
You pull some from a jug.
One
and
of
over.
my 2 spells.
There you go. Yeah. Splash of water.
wheat
Did they have
futures
to
are really
roll?
hot right now.
Did they have to roll a D100 or was it just that?
Just you.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yep. I get it, Josh. All right.
What was Kaimana going to do?
Oh my fucking god.
I get it.
What was Kaimana doing?
I said wheat futures are really hot right now.
No, but you were going to do something before that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, Jury. Okay, so Jury looks at Mar casting a spell, and then they're just quiet for a second, and they don't say anything else. But they
Okay.
seem really annoyed and confused.
Can I insight? I mean, do I notice that?
Yeah, you
Can I inside that? Because
You
like,
can inside it, yeah. that's
Jury's
fine.
just like, I cast sending.
okay,
It
like
automatically bumps to an 18.
18.
I rolled
Jury, if you're trying to hide the look that you're looking towards Mar,
Jury,
roll a deception.
yeah, Jury basically.
I got an 18 too.
What you're gleaming is Jury thinks they might know something, but maybe they feel like unsure about saying something about it.
Mm.
So
Okay,
they
I
look
clock it
uncomfortable.
and I don't say anything.
All right. Come on, what
They
are you
look
going to
like unsure.
Yeah. Kaimana's just going to say, well, if there was something I've met, I forgot about it.
We didn't forget about anyone. Alyria said everyone was here.
Yep.
And I'm going to write down all our names, and it says, if someone's not here, this is what happened.
No.
So you make a note? Okay.
We're
make a note.
still with where the woman is at the fruit stand, right?
I think you kind of probably stepped away a little bit, but she is still there. She's composed herself a little bit, but you can tell this is like somebody who's in like a day-long welling of sadness that wells up within her, but she's not actively crying at this moment.
I'm going to go back and talk to her and basically try to make sure she's okay. But what I want to do is be looking around to see if there are any signs of the other person. Like,
Okay.
are there a pair of boots there or something? Basically, the idea is if there's some remnant, this person may have been here recently.
Okay.
If there's nothing, they've been ripped out of.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll your investigation check, and then you can have your conversation as well.
Investigation.
Which was
And their name is still on the cart.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That's a 14.
A 14. Okay. So you come back up, and she's like, "Oh, did you forget something?"
Oh, well, I was going to actually get some fruit.
Oh, we just got a delicious shipment of star fruit in from the Vanishing Isles. They're on special because they don't keep for quite so long. But you can get 3 for a silver.
Okay. What other fruit do you have?
Well, we've got local grown watermelon and cantaloupe. We have some delicious fresh picked blackberries and raspberries from a nearby copse of trees. And then we have a wide variety of pineapples and oranges and citrus fruits and things from some of the islands in the local area as well.
I'll take some of the fruits and berries for Thistle and Little Saurus. And I want to get a watermelon for Kaimana.
Okay. All told, you say 3 silver.
Okay. And while
what you see in the space. So I mean, it is like a small, like almost as if like she pulled up a cart, and then it's like in a like a stall that has a covering over it, and she's just hung the sign there, and the cart kind of makes up the back of the stall. But it is interesting, in the back of the cart there is a jacket that definitely bears like a man's cut. Well, not to say she couldn't be wearing a man's jacket, but there is a jacket with a man's cut.
It's not her color.
Yeah. She's wearing like a beautiful like floral dress kind of that comes down to her ankles and has cut off sleeves in this warmer weather. Yeah.
Floral, you said.
Yeah.
Forget-me-nots by any chance?
They are not. They are hibiscuses.
Get out of here.
They are hibiscuses.
I make some small talk, and basically, where do you get your fruit? And how long have you been in town this trip? Are you permanent here? Do you come and go?
Is this stuff imported?
Okay, yes. So the information that she gives you is that she's been in business in Bogtown for nearly 20 years, that she inherited the business from a family member. This is where the cart space here is, that she wheels the cart, or she has a donkey who can pull the cart if it's slightly overloaded, down to the docks, and she gets the goods off of the docks, or she has local farmers who provide goods as well.
Okay. The jacket, is it a heavy weather jacket? Is it like
in this climate, it's definitely looks more like a rain slick. Probably treated with some kind of wax or something to keep rain off.
So something that's in season.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can I message Jury right now?
Sure. Yep. Remember, you all have the ability to message each other. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go, hey, be normal. Ask her where she lives, but like in a normal way. I don't know how to do that.
When you say it, Jury is so confident at first, but then like you saying be normal makes them a little nervous about it. But they go up and they're like, so they're kind of flirty, and they're like, so you live around here?
Make a really odd persuasion check.
Okay, because Jury thought they would be fine, but then when Mars said it made them feel weird. I got a 21 to be flirty.
Okay, she kind of gives you a weird look, but then says, there's tradesmen cottages over the blacksmith's shop, and several of the local shopkeepers have apartments there.
Nice, yeah. Yep, that's where you live. Fuck. I just nod to Mar like, job well done.
Yeah.
I did it.
All right.
I want to turn to Jury, and I'll say to Jury, do you think if you cast Revivify on this person, perhaps it will help them regain their memory?
That's a restoration, but restoration might do something. I don't want to kill her and cast Revivify on her.
Yeah. We kill her and then bring back her memory.
Okay. Let's not, but I can try lesser restoration if you want, but I have to touch her.
I mean, you could figure out some way in exchange of money or something if you'd like to try to do that. However, lesser restoration does require both verbal and somatic components.
So she'll know.
So she will know you're casting a spell if she is familiar with spell casting.
Is that a bad thing? Or?
Well, yeah. Okay, look, I go to message him and I'm like, listen, Abel, the thing is, she doesn't know that someone's missing, and if we tell her, she's going to freak the fuck out.
I was just curious if it would work on her, then perhaps it would work on the rest of the Seablade.
I can try. Well, why don't we just try on the Seablade then?
Well, I figured we'd try on her, and if it doesn't...
Spell slots, Abel. Spell slots.
I figured we would try on her, and if it doesn't work, then...
No, because if I try it on her, then I have to also do it on the Seablade. I'll just do it on one of them. And we'll be at a bar. It'll be easy to touch them. And they won't, whatever.
And then we leave this poor woman in her misery?
No, we hopefully find whoever her partner is.
I was just curious if you would, if you wanted to try.
I can try, but spell slots, baby. Okay, I roll maybe, I'll pay for something. Roll sleight of hand.
Roll sleight of hand to try to hide the somatic component of your spell casting.
Sure. I rolled, oh my god.
Why are you looking at it like that?
I rolled a 22.
Okay. It'll cost you a silver worth of fruit in order to make this.
I love fruit.
But you make the purchase, and she hands over a package of delicious oranges and mandarins and citrus fruits. And as you are passing her the money, you successfully cast the spell without her noticing. You distract her with the exchange of coins, and you cast Lesser Restoration. You feel the spell pass through her. And she just leans back. Oh, well, this has been quite a good business day. Thank you all so much for coming.
Yep.
Will you be back tomorrow, or do you have a partner?
Immediately, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. No, I've been alone the last 20 years in this job.
I give her a gold.
You give her a tip,
stop,
yeah. Okay.
Please stop crying.
Oh, thank you so much for it. It's not necessary.
Job.
Thank you. Yes.
No, it did. I like supporting single women business owners. It's very important for the community.
Okay.
Girl boss. Goodbye. Run away from this.
All right. Who runs the world? Who runs the world?
Yes. As I run away.
That was so awkward.
All right.
And I give the raspberries and blueberries or whatever to Little Saurus and Thistle.
Yep.
And I hand Kaimana a watermelon that's about the size he is.
Yeah, it is a large watermelon, Kaimana, so it definitely is gigantic.
This is not about to be dignified, everybody.
So Kaimana's carrying a large watermelon. Yeah.
It seemed like she had like an appropriate emotional reaction, but like emotionally she knew it was happening, but she didn't remember, right?
I don't know.
It was like there was
it's a complicated magic at work here.
Yeah, the forebrain part didn't know, but there's a part of her that does.
I think I kind of want to go around the tradesmen's cottages and maybe investigate this. Jesus Christ!
Oh, you want to break into a cottage?
No.
What? Why thought it would be? We did that last time. It was so fun. It went really well.
No, it didn't.
The one time we did, it did.
Anyway, I would like to not find another,
English
feature in the basement. But anyway.
Yeah,
So regardless, I think if we look around the tradesman cottages, we can see if somebody else has gone missing, or if there's signs of that, or if anyone happens to know anything, or if there's just any signs of something that might explain what's going on.
Okay. So you make your way further into town in the direction that they told you that the Wayfarer was, the way that Bogtown's designed, you're constantly walking across slats of wood. This is all built up above this marshy land. There are places where you go up over bridges, over coursing kind of areas of delta streams or things that are passing on into the ocean, and you're crossing down, and then there are bridges of these passageways that go over that you're going underneath. But eventually you come to a mound of land that seems to rise up out of the marshes, and here there is a blacksmith's shop, and you hear the clanging of a hammer against anvil, and then at the back of the blacksmith shop you see a 2-story building with several windows at the front, and it has like the Bogtown Cottages sign at the front. This seems to be kind of like the tradesman cottage area, but there's a older looking gentleman with a large kind of hat banging at the blacksmith, and there is a young girl nearby kind of putting together like a daisy chain of crown to put on her head. Maybe she's in her maybe 19 or 18, but young and kind of not super active in her day, but she's sitting near the blacksmith.
Hey Josh, can I ask you one more? So when I cast Lesser Restoration, I didn't have to roll the D100 though, right? Interesting. Okay, sorry, that's just for me. That's just a little for me thing. Okay, keep going.
Yep.
That's just for me.
So, do you all want to speak to the blacksmith, or you can just kind of go up to the cottages and explore?
Yeah, I'll run up to the blacksmith.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
I'll just approach and kind of knock respectfully to kind of see if I can get his attention.
Oh, did you get the squash? I asked for the squash. And then he turns around and looks at you. Oh, you're not who I was looking for. Where is he with the squash?
Can I ask your name?
Oh, they call me Old Shady around these parts.
I've got a bag of I've got a bag of random fruit.
Where's Bradley?
Like it.
Well, that's who we thought I was, Bradley. His little twink boyfriend's out there somewhere.
Bradley's out there getting the fruits.
For reference, this is a character I played in a show. On both.
No,
Yeah.
it's so funny.
And when I saw him in On Boats, I said, I'm going to put Old Shady in this thing. And I literally was like,
Shady.
Old Shady's in Bogtown. And it's just been this long.
I always remembered you saying Old Shady was I think somewhere
Yeah.
south. But
Yeah.
I was
Old Shady was fantastic.
Old Shady was fantastic.
Old Shady is one of my favorite characters.
I asked him if he wants
and
his
my twin
bag
boyfriend
of
was played
fruits.
by my very
Aurora.
good friend.
Yes, love.
No, I only eat the vegetables, but I appreciate it.
Great.
Have you seen Bradley around anywhere?
I don't know who that is. If I do see Bradley, I will let him know that you are looking for him.
Oh.
How long has Bradley been gone?
Oh, he went down to the market about an hour ago, but he should be back soon.
Interesting, thank you. That's right. I write this down and walk away.
I'm gonna
Jerry's having a day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just ask really quickly. Sorry, new in town. Do you happen to know where the fruit sellers are posted? I believe it's a couple. Do you know who I'm talking about?
The only fruit seller in town. She works alone and has for the last 20 years or so.
Okay. I guess I just made that up. Sorry to bother you, sir.
She stays in one of my apartments here above the blacksmith shop.
Oh, you're a landlord? No. No.
We're more of a co-op and a collective. I just
Okay.
manage the structure.
Thank you. I can't have this character defamation. I'll stop bothering Old Shady. I just wanted to, like, in character test if that was like a personal thing or like an everybody.
Or an everybody thing. Okay, good, yeah.
What's the young girl doing?
Oh, she's making her little Daisy.
not-
Oh, sorry. Old Shady said, "Fuck you asking the GM."
The GM is Old Shady.
No. Someone who played Old Shady. He becomes a part of you.
Yeah, you can't let him go. You can't shake Old Shady. She's just kind of sitting there. She's making a crown of flowers out of daisies or some kind of other flowers nearby. It looks like she's kind of sitting behind a low desk. So maybe she's like, she takes notes for him in his blacksmithing work or something as an assistant.
Is there like
Your rat friend is staring awful hard at my Matilda. Is everything okay?
his eyes are very bad. He can't see very far. So he's
I
just
only have
trying
one. So.
Yeah.
yeah, he's trying to see.
Okay.
I like elbow you, Soros.
All right.
Yep.
Anything else you'd like to do?
I kind of want to like just walk around the cottages like kind of quick and just kind of like investigate if there's like anything that looks suspicious
Sure.
or off. Like,
Go ahead
like if there's like a broken window or like some sign that said, "Uh-oh, people are going missing."
Now, are these
Mar,
separate cottages, or is this just a park?
So they are, it's like a lot of the buildings in Bogtown look to be like, there was probably one building that was built here and then they just kept, because it's like such small land area, that they just kind of kept building and attaching buildings to it. So the blacksmith shop was probably first, and then Old Shady and his daughter Matilda's apartment was probably first. But then like these other apartments were just added onto it. Yeah.
Okay.
They all have separate entrances with staircases coming up from the base going up to them.
Yeah, and if Bradley's the next victim, maybe
Stop.
Wait,
No,
I'm just saying.
not my boy. We have to
maybe-
save him.
We had to
Well,
say
if he
Bradley.
went, if he went into town and he's a possible target, maybe you or Kaimana could track him down.
Okay. Do you want to stick around here and investigate and try to have me go find Bradley? Or when we meet up later?
I think we should all stay together. I'm really worried about us
Okay.
splitting off in this scenario.
Do
That's
you
a
want to
good
look around
message.
now, or do you want to go find Bradley? I'm flexible.
Let's look around first, and then we'll.
Okay.
Bradley could be Plan B.
I would like to go
Bradley.
investigate around.
Okay, so you can have a choice of perception versus investigation. And just to give you a sense, like perception is looking for any odd, like breaks in patterns.
Right.
Whereas investigation would be looking very specifically for minute details.
Mar, let me give you an inspiration as you.
Thank you.
So you're passing on a bardic inspiration. Roll a D100 for me, please.
Oh, I don't like that caused that, Josh. Why? What does that mean? A D100 for an inspiration? What the hell? I rolled a 63.
63.
Oh,
So as you release the note of bardic inspiration and it flies across towards Marlowe, suddenly everyone around Jury cannot see because you are enveloped in fog.
oh. And we see where the spell comes from.
It originates on Juridan, yeah.
I don't even have the spell.
Jury,
How-
you really need to tune your instrument. What is going on with your magic today?
Did you fuck something up on your instrument? Was it doing that?
Let's just investigate it. Then we can talk about this later.
I really can't invest. I need to clear up for a second.
You guys are thankfully not super close to the like the actual apartments. So you can walk out of the fog mart and be okay on your investigation. Yeah.
Great.
I wonder if the blacksmith has a ledger somewhere from the people renting.
Oh, that's so smart.
This would be a good time to look because currently most of the blacksmith shop is enveloped in fog. So you could like investigate without him knowing that you're doing it.
Interesting.
Can I?
Yes, anybody who would like to just like seek around the blacksmith shop, you can roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Well, can one of us help the other and just get it like a straight roll?
If you're, are you still wanting to do your travel around the apartment?
Yeah, I was going to travel around, so I'll keep if anyone wants to do it.
So you go, and then it's like if Saurus, Kaimana, Jury, you can either all roll separately and roll at disadvantage, or two of you can roll normally.
I'm gonna go with Marlo and use a perception.
Okay,
Marlo
that works.
I've got investigation.
I'll do a normal roll because I'm pretty good.
Okay, I'll help you then.
Okay.
So you'll get the normal.
And then
roll.
Kaimana, you can just roll a disadvantage investigation if you like.
So I'm rolling normally with inspiration.
And Saurus is rolling perception. Yeah.
Yep, 19.
19.
13. Look at that. I'm usually.
Can you remind me what are you a D8 for Bardic Inspiration?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, D8.
Oh, can't I like re-roll one roll a day or something? What's something I have?
I don't know if it's on investigation.
Might be on.
I've got a 26 on investigation.
26. What was your perception source?
19.
19. And Kaimana, what was your...
That inspiration came through for me.
Oh, I'm working on a watermelon right now.
Kaimana. It's like, there's fog.
I love
Watermelon.
this little guy.
All right, cool.
I'll give you all my whole bag of fruit too. Here you go.
Yeah.
Have a blast.
Citrus and watermelon. Perfect. All right. So we'll do Marlo and Saurus. So you kind of step out of the fog and Old Shady's just like, oh, the weather. Oh, this weather. Still clanging away at whatever they can or cannot see at the anvil. But you make your way out.
My Old Shady voice.
I had to go back and listen to it, and I was like, God, but this is such a fun voice.
I remember when you asked me for voice clips of Old Shady. It took me 20 minutes to remember the voice.
So you go. So Saurus, with patterns and noticing kind of differentiation in patterns and things, the only thing that kind of stands out as odd to you or strange is that one of the windows outside one of these houses, it appears like there's like a weird liquid or something that's kind of against the wall. But the window's closed and the window's completely intact, but you see this kind of glistening in the light, like maybe a mucusy liquid or something that's kind of glistening against a wall. Marlo, with your investigation check, looking very specifically for things, you see very oddly along kind of the dirt around this. This is a well-traveled space, so there's cart tracks and all kinds of things. You see this like odd depression in the dirt that's ringed by like 6 pointed pieces, and then but then it almost seems as if the dirt at the center was like disturbed in some kind of way, but other than that you don't notice anything of merit.
I'll point out the snot to Marlo.
And I point out the tracks to Saurus.
Yeah.
And go, I hate these things together.
Yeah. So the just the DC on finding those tracks was a 25. So like they're it's very difficult to spot them. And it's like picking out the very specific tracks.
Is there, I mean, I'm sorry if this was something you answered before. Can I like follow it, or is it just like a single kind of thing?
So based on Mars' intelligence of something, it appears as if something dug up from the ground and planted itself here. And
you
then
mean something came up from the water and planted itself here?
Well, so we are on a raised like the blacksmith's shop is on a raised bit of land, kind of like an aisle within the marsh. And it popped up here. Didn't move from this spot. And then it must have gone back down, and somehow like the dirt just closed in over it.
And how big is this?
It's part of the reason why this is really difficult to pick up is that it's probably about 5 to 7 feet in diameter.
Okay.
And then like the little pointed bits, like it was picking up on the pattern of seeing these weird puncture marks in the dirt. And the two farthest ones of those on either side of the outer space of this depression are about 8 feet apart.
Okay.
And that's what you were like, that's so weird that these same puncture marks are happening here. And then when I walked over here, I saw them. And then when you stepped back, it was like when they discovered the Yucatan crater and they were like, God, it's been there in our brains the whole time. We just didn't know how big it was. Right. That's kind of what happened. Yeah.
Okay. And if I get off the platform, do I see anything else kind of like similar? Just that one thing?
Just that one. Yeah. It's like this, something rose up here and then disappeared back.
Do I see Mar go down underneath the platform?
You're in the middle of the fog cloud eating a watermelon.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
You're having a great time.
It is a delicious watermelon. Like this is like if you've ever had fresh from the vine watermelon. This feels it's like it's not chilled because it hasn't been in a refrigerator, so it's got like that kind of warm, sickly sweetness of a fresh watermelon. It's perfect. Yeah.
The fog is like helping you focus on just the flavor.
Yeah.
I want to hollow it out and make a helmet out of it.
That is well within your possibilities. Yeah. All right.
Maybe all sticky. Okay.
All right. Now, so within the fog cloud, kind of stumbling around, Abel, you rolled a 14.
13, I think.
A 13. So you kind of stumble your way back through to an area. You kind of clang against a couple like metal pieces on the wall, maybe you knock over a plow of some kind, but you do fill your way back to a ledge that's at the back, and when you're patting down, you get close enough to look at it that there are papers here, and it does appear to be like a ledger book of people who lived in this home.
Okay. I'll try to pocket it in the fog cloud.
You don't have to try. They can't see you, so it's
yeah.
You can pocket the ledger book. Yeah.
We'll have to take some time to go through it later.
Yeah, Jury's beside you in the fog, like, no, it's this way. Oh, that's the door. We're good. That's a window.
All right. Around this time, the fog kind of dissipates as you all are milling about and making your way out of the more confined areas of the blacksmith shop.
Old Shady this whole time has been ominously singing a song about how the last time he was in fog, he saw 3 men go under the water. And oddly, the tune is cheerful.
Yeah, it
the
is.
lyrics are disturbing.
Yeah, and he keeps mumbling about, and where are my snakes?
I still have those snakes.
Yay!
I hate Bogtown. I hate Bogtown.
Yeah.
I need to get out of this town.
Right. Now, unless you want to investigate like the slimy residue.
I don't
I
need
think
to.
you should.
So it's probably about 5 or 6 feet from the nearest staircase to that window ledge. Saurus, with your athletics or acrobatics, you could probably scale the wall and get up to it.
Yes,
it's just nature of, are people going to see you doing that?
Can I be on like stealth lookout for
Sure.
them to like signal this is a good time to run up and signal if someone's coming this way and we should probably get down?
Go ahead and make a perception check. And then Saurus, prepare yourself with athletics or acrobatics to run up the wall. And then what are you going to do when you get to that point? Are you going to kind of like hold on to the window ledge, or what are you thinking?
And is the slime on the window ledge or down the outside?
So it looks like it's probably like on the ledge itself and then kind of coming down, kind of dragging down to nothing off the side of it.
Okay. Before
Can I
run
also give Saurus, like, because I have an alchemy kit, right? So I
That's
assume
what I
I
was
have
gonna ask.
something to like bottle this without
Yes.
him touching it.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
then to be inspected later.
Cool. Yeah, you give him something to collect a specimen of this. So, Soros, it will take you a moment to grab the specimen. So, I'll need an acrobatics check to scale the wall, an athletics check to hold the window, and then to drop back down.
I can run up walls.
Without an okay, so I just need the athletics check to hold yourself in place long enough to get the sample.
Okay.
And then what was your perception check, Marlo?
20. Wait. 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a cart is coming by because like this is the side of the so it's not on the main thoroughfare. It's kind of off to the side on one of the side roads. A cart's coming through, and so you kind of hold Soros for a moment. And you all look like we're up to no.
Yeah.
We're not
Totally
up to no good.
casual.
Just whistling, you
yep,
know.
And I'm gonna
playing with my
glance through the
squirrel
window.
because who with a pet squirrel would ever be doing
Exactly,
anything
yeah.
wrong?
Yeah.
I'm going to glance in the window while I'm up there.
Sure, absolutely. And then so the cart passes, and you wait a moment, and you don't hear the approaching of any other footsteps or anything. So you can give Soros the go. Soros, you scale the wall. What was your athletics check?
It was a 17 rolled plus 4 is 21.
21. So you just like a rock climber finding like that very small hold, but you get your hand there. You take the specimen, you pop it in your pocket. Go ahead and make a perception check as you pull yourself up to glance in the window before you drop down.
Oh. Hang on, I need to see if that's a 9 or a 6.
Every day.
Perception, that's a 9, so that's a 15 total.
A 15. So you lift up and you glance in, and you're staring into a fairly simple cottage. Looks like a very simple home. There's a kitchen, a dining room table. As you're glancing up, you see 2 place settings at the table, and then you drop back down.
Okay.
2, huh?
Mm-hmm. All right. You hand off the liquid to Marlo.
Here's your mucus.
Sucks. Thanks.
Gross.
Yeah. And you kind of look at it, the vial, Marlo, and it's like this clear mucus-y element. There is maybe a little tinge of red to elements of it, but yeah.
Okay, then I will investigate this properly later.
Sure.
Can we ask who lives in this house?
If you want to go back to Old Shady and ask, for sure. Yeah. Like who lives in this specific one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be in the book we picked up too.
That's also true.
Oh, yeah.
Each of the homes is numbered. So this is number 4.
Yeah, we'll check the book.
All right. So Abel, you open up the book, and number 4 does reference the fruit merchant.
Ugh.
Looks like this home belongs to the fruit lady.
And both names are listed.
Ooh, drama. So this happened recently. Probably.
And it's dated recently, so it's not like
It appears like it's like they updated their last like who's the part of the cooperative extension for this home within the last 6 months.
Make sure the entire group is informed.
Yep, I checked to make sure we're all still here. Yep, we're good.
To come on and finish his watermelon, is he wearing it as a hat?
I think he's like. I'll let y'all be the judge. I don't know whether he like carves off the little bit and wears it as a helmet with like 2 little eye holes in it, or if he's if he's completely hollowed the entire thing out and is now wearing it like a barrel around
this is
his whole body.
quite possibly large enough for you to put a head hole and 2 arm holes in it.
That's
So
what he's doing. He's walking around.
Taimana, you're
Really
gonna be all sticky.
I just go for a swim.
That's true.
Okay.
I don't think this is a great place to go for a swim. I'm just saying.
He's walking like that kid from Christmas Story.
I can't put my arms down.
Oh, he's so cute. Look at him in his little watermelon costume.
Don't encourage him.
I can't believe that. He's so cute.
No. You get immune to it after a while at some point.
Well, you're gonna be immune to thistle.
Thistle. This valiant and brave warrior.
He just-
There's nothing cute or adorable about my vicious
Thistle
squirrel.
like pops up out of your pocket and just like looks at Jury and just goes, and then pops back down into the pocket.
All those backflips, buddy. You'll get there.
Exactly.
All right.
I guess knowing what we know about the apartment, do you think it's a good idea to send Anansi in and see if he can see anything? If there's a mind-wiping creature inside.
I think I think it's probably moved on by now. But you know, I think the tracks and the snot are the better lead, possibly.
Do we want to go see?
Were they leading into the apartment or away from the apartment?
Based on Soris's perception check, it's a little difficult to tell the direction, but it seems like something that was producing that mucus was kind of resting on the windowsill, and it was just dripping off of the windowsill.
Yeah, I can boop in there if we really need to. Boop in, boop out. But
are we gonna go try to look for Bradley at the market?
Yeah.
So we had talked about doing that.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad idea.
Okay.
So y'all make your way back to the main thoroughfare and kind of backtracking a little bit. When you get to the fruit stand, you keep kind of walking past, and there's several other stalls of different shops here. There's a Leatherman shop. There's a woodworking shop where they're selling random like woodworking tools and things. It's all like the bare necessities of life in this space. Nothing magical or whatever. This is a mundane market. But you do notice a very kind of tall, longer haired gentleman, fair of face, very chipperly walking with like a basket under his arm, loaded with squash, and he is kind of bouncing from shop to shop here, kind of talking. It's very Belle at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast. Hello. There goes the baker. But you know, he's currently talking to the like somebody who's selling eggs and is gathering together some maybe looks like for a meal that they'll be cooking later today.
I need 6 eggs.
That's too expensive. But that's the only person who's not. There are other random townspeople milling about, but with the hint of Squash and Bradley, this seems to be the person you're looking for.
Okay.
All right, he's not dead. That's good.
That is positive.
I hope these people aren't dead, right?
I mean, no, they're not dead.
I mean, hopefully, like,
Surely not.
Person napped by a snot monster. Maybe I'd rather be dead. I don't know.
I mean, in my experience, people who go missing with signs of creatures around usually don't turn up alive. But, I mean, there's a first for everything.
This is a heavy realization.
Was that comforting?
Not at all.
No, not really.
Oh, I tried. I haven't seen everything. I mean, I've never seen this before, so maybe it's friendly, and they're just going away on a picnic.
A mind wiping picnic. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying my best here.
That's good. Kaimana, do you have anything where you could track a thing down? A monster thing?
Kaimana starts to cry like a frustrated toddler for a second, and then he goes, I can't take it off.
Oh, Kaimana, this is an important lesson. You always build a class.
No.
You have to get yourself out of the water. No one help him. He's got to get himself out of the watermelon.
He can't.
Don't help him.
All right, he's gonna. I'm assuming we're on like a boardwalk.
You're back on a boardwalk, yeah.
All right, I'm going to run as fast as I can towards one of the pilings and just throw myself bodily into it to try to like break up the watermelon.
Okay, so you run yourself into a pylon. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, Kaimana. But you slam into the piling and the watermelon shell shatters around you and just like crumples all around you on the dock. Immediately from nowhere, because you haven't seen them anywhere before, 17 seagulls just swoop down and immediately start eating the watermelons.
Mine.
Yeah, except
Mine?
no, they're saying fuck it, these are ours, get out.
That's true. The only word seagulls know how to say is fuck.
That's true. Fuck.
Right, come on. I pick you up. You are sticky.
Very.
And I do a little healing word on you because I said no one help him. I feel kind of bad.
Okay.
Can I take this time to start investigating the specimen with my alchemy kit? I don't know exactly like what like Mars experience, but like I've done a lot of collecting and specimens.
Yes, and you've collected specimens from all kinds of magical and mundane creatures over your time. And with Kaimana's assistance helping you, go ahead and make a nature check with advantage.
Nature check with advantage. Okay.
Do any of y'all read the webcomic Sluggy Freelance?
Oh.
No.
There's a character, Kiki, in it who is a ferret. That what Kaimana just did is a Kiki thing.
Shit, that's cocked.
It's funny.
Kaimana does have Kiki energy.
What
Just in general.
What do you say? Sorry, this one's like covered in little vines and leaves, and then it's exactly the same text as a 17.
17.
No,
plus,
I didn't add anything. Okay, so nature. Do I get proficiency bonus? Maybe?
Do you normally get proficiency bonus with nature?
No, but if I was using my alchemy bonus, I'm just making things up.
So it's a dirty 20. That's fine. So again, as you're looking at it, I mean, you've encountered many creatures that produce heavy amounts of mucus, or use it as a protective. Especially a lot of aquatic creatures are very it's kind of thinking like or amphibians with like slugs or snails or things like that. It definitely reminds you a lot of like snail like mucus, but there's a weird you do the thing that no one's supposed to do where you like sniff the thing directly instead of waft it, but thankfully you did, because you pick up this like briny hint of like sea in it. This might be some kind of sea creature.
The red in it
is
I'm
blood.
pretty good. I'm pretty. Am I?
The moment you uncork the vial, you smell it.
I'm really, blood's my thing,
Yeah.
right? In the class game. So am I able to either like sniffing it out or like by like color or texture, whatever? Is this a humanoid blood?
Yes.
Okay. All right, relay this information.
It's not. It's not a lot, but there's just traces of it within it. Yeah.
Blood is blood.
Yeah, blood is blood.
Blood in the water.
Maybe it's from a dire oyster.
Aware oyster.
Aware oyster.
This feels offensive. This feels targeted. I don't look at this doing.
I didn't say that. I didn't participate.
I like oysters.
Well, I think you're gonna like this one.
I want an oyster.
All right. Where are y'all going from here?
Find some oysters.
There's oysters on the market. There's a fish market.
So, can I have some coppers for some oysters?
Absolutely.
Yep.
How many do you need?
You can get a dozen oysters for 3 copper.
I need 6 copper.
Here's 9.
Oh.
Thank you.
36 oysters.
Are you expecting change?
No, I literally had 9. I literally had 9 copper left, and so it's just like, here's all of it.
Hey, Josh. While they're kind of doing stuff, can I step a little to the side and try to cast Prestidigitation, see if anything happens?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I Prestidigitate, see if, like a little spark or something.
It's beautiful.
I'm just standing off to the side.
Okay. Josh is just fucking with you at this point.
Yeah. The dice are speaking, I will say that.
Jury is on their own quest right now.
Yeah.
I forgot what's happening.
So what do we
What are we?
do?
I don't know, I mean, we don't do this stuff typically.
Wow.
Okay, well, we are an adventurers guild. I do want to point out that we did start as an adventurers guild, and I think we've been caught up in the big leagues for a while. But this feels. I feel like we should do something about it. This is very frightening.
Oh, I want to do something about this. I don't like that lady cried. It was really sad.
These people.
I think we need to check underneath the Bogtown.
We go underwater?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Oh, didn't we say that I was able to make one of the
Cloaks of the Manta Ray, yeah. Yep.
Right?
And
I can.
You guys already can breathe underwater, right?
Yes.
I think everyone.
And I have the circlet of underwater action, which lets me breathe underwater. And
right.
that's
I was counting you, and then Kaimana, and then I have the sword, so I can.
And then Abel made a Cloak of the Manta Ray, so yeah. So it's a fourth.
And then I can make an infusion of another, so Jury and I will be covered.
We're gonna just swim around in the water.
I mean, we don't all have to go. It actually feels it maybe feels like we shouldn't all go in.
I would love to be on the land, maybe with my dimension door powers.
I could sense that was not something
If you give me a long rest, I can cast water breathing
and
a couple times.
Well, you can wild shape too.
Yeah,
because I think as a fish or something, well, you can swim.
You're also just an otter.
That's the most redundant use of wild shape.
He's gonna wild shape into an otter.
You could shape into something that can breathe underwater.
I can actually hold my breath pretty long
for 30 minutes.
I don't want to go in the water. Is my point? I will be on the dimension door and make sure no one dies.
Let me see I think I can just permanently breathe underwater.
You can, yes, as long as you're attuned, or as long as you're attuned to the wave dancer.
I have no limit.
As long as you're all in message range, I can keep up with you.
And you have sending, so you could send to them.
Yeah. And I have increased swimming speed too. So, and I have a water net ability. That won't help me in this situation. But it's cool that I have it. So think about that. I'm willing to go under. I mean, I can also wait. If I'm underwater and I kick on the winged boots, can I just shoot out of the water?
Yeah. Because you have the wave,
emergency exit.
Yes.
Basically.
Because you have the wave dancer, your movement is not hampered by the water. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
So if I used the winged boots, I could basically just jet up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I explained that to the group and be like, so I'm willing to go down there. I would love some sort of backup, but if no one else wants to, then I can solo. Maybe one person goes, stays closer to shore, definitely in, message range, and then I kind of take a little further look around.
Yeah. Or if he wants to go a bit further, you could take Nancy and he can keep me informed if something goes wrong.
Can Nancy go underwater?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to breathe, so. Yeah.
I don't know. It was a technological question. I mean, I know his spider can't breathe. I know I don't know a lot about this stuff, but I do, the bare minimum, I think you can assume I do know.
No, sometimes Anansi just seems so alive to me as well, so.
That's true. He's
that was the issue. I forgot Anansi's not a real little spider.
Where do we want to start our search?
There's
a lot of underwater.
Just from a purely logical perspective, most of the water under Bogtown is no more than 3 or 4 feet deep. If you're trying to get into deeper waters, then that would be near the harbor.
Okay.
So it just depends on like, do you want to explore the shallow waters or off the coast?
Yeah, maybe you go the shallows
we know where the one place we know where something came up was by the blacksmith shop on that little spit of land. So maybe we kind of
start from there
and see if we can find.
We just work our way out in a spiral pattern.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And I'll go in the water too.
All right. So you all make your way back to the blacksmith's bit of land. And
if anyone asks, we're doing marine biology.
All right, don't worry. I'm very convincing. I'll tell them.
Technically correct.
That's true. Yeah. And you kind of get over to the side where the land spit goes down below the decking that's coming off of it to go to the rest of town. And the water here, weirdly, in like kind of this marshy condition, it's a little silty and muddy. It doesn't have it's not super clear vision through this space. But you're able to kind of wade out, and you get about 5 or 6 feet out and you're still kind of waist deep in water. But it does start to go deeper further out. So Marlo, Saurus, Kaimana, is Abel going into the water as well?
I will stay on land with Jury.
Okay. And sending Anansi with Marlo?
I give you Thistle in return.
Pet trade.
Can I hold Thistle?
You can share Thistle.
Okay.
Sure.
I want to roll animal handling. Let me see how.
Okay.
And Josh, I'm going to be spamming Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
17 to hold Thistle.
So Thistle is comfortable in your grasp, Jordan. So you all kind of go out. Now, are you doing like all going from one place and radiating outward, or how are you approaching your investigation here?
So starting at the landmass,
okay.
I think we're all walking as a group so as not to be ambushed, and also like fingertip to fingertip.
Yeah.
Kind of walking. And then working out in a spiral pattern, like always passing on the left of like pilings or whatever. So we're making sure we're constantly moving outward.
Okay, good. How long do you want to give for this search going outwards?
Do we want to go until we're like neck deep?
What time is it?
Until Kaimana's neck deep?
Probably at this point where it's 2 or so in the afternoon.
Okay, so definitely stop before sundown.
Okay. Yeah. Between
2
that,
hours?
In 2 hours, you could probably search most of Bogtown proper without going out into the harbor space. So this would cover like the marshy lands around Bogtown, if all 3 of you are dedicating 2 hours to that.
A good idea.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Source is going to keep ducking his head under so that he can look underwater.
Sure. Yep. I feel like Marlo and Kaimana, you're both searching underwater as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure.
So I need all 3 of you to make investigation checks. I need 3 separate investigation checks, 1 for each of your hours. So go ahead and roll all 3 of those for each of you. Jury, while you're standing on the shoreline, you just hear like, you feel a presence near you, and then a voice just goes, "Are they searching for the clams?"
Yeah, they're searching for clams.
Oh, the clam yards are over that way, but you gotta be careful because the Jonas brothers, they like to lay claim to the clam yards.
Oh my god.
How many Jonas brothers are there?
There's one more than you think.
If he says there are only 2, we're fucked.
There is a 4th one everyone forgets. It makes sense.
Yeah. They own the Wayfarer and think they're the top shit in this town.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to need the Joan Brothers own the clam yard on a t-shirt.
It's almost like it's a camp where they just rock here. Huh?
They do, yeah.
Crazy. I go, okay, and then I turn away from him as if I don't want to talk to him anymore. Like, very obviously.
Yeah, he stands there chewing on a squash. Just a raw squash. Just Bradley has brought the squash back.
Just a man in his gourd.
So is Bradley like your ward or like your boyfriend? Or
We've been married for 10 years.
Oh, that's nice.
What? Bradley's like, okay, Bradley's aged up in this.
Bradley's aged up in this. Bradley's much older in this.
Bradley's like,
No, Bradley's like 27. And as Old Shady sounds old, but is not actually old in this world. So.
He's one of those.
Yeah, he's like,
Old Shady in Men on Boats was like 50.
I mean, he wasn't that old.
I mean, he was,
and
not
for
that
those
old.
of you, for those of you watching who aren't getting this reference,
Yes.
Bradley was a counterpart to Jace playing Old Shady, and Bradley was the intern, and super enthusiastic, super happy. And Old Shady has been over it for decades. Yeah. And they get paired
only
together.
know each other for like a month.
Yes.
And they get paired together in a canoe, and it just was
insanity.
All right. Marlo, what were your 3 in order investigation checks?
You know what, Josh? I definitely rolled them and I absolutely fucking forgot.
Oh, no.
So go for someone
Okay,
else.
Abel.
Yep.
What were your 3?
Oh, he didn't go in the water.
I didn't go in the water.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Soros.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
8, 15, and 15.
8, 15, and 15. Okay, come on.
I got an 11, a natural 20, and a 9.
What's the 20 with your investigation added?
20.
20. Oh, okay. 0
Okay, yeah,
and a
nice,
9.
nice.
Okay. Good. So while you're rolling yours, Marlo, I'll go through that. So you guys kind of parse the land out, and you're doing swaths of checks. So Soros, we'll say that you kind of go a ring out from Marlo. So Marlo's taking the inner ring, and then Kaimana, you're taking, as somebody who has the most swimming experience, you're taking the outer ring where the water gets a little deeper. So Soros, on your first check through, you are getting used to being a swimming creature underwater and getting used to being able to breathe water. And there's and the cloudiness and the murkiness of it. There's a lot of adjustment that you immediately are like, this is awkward. So you don't, on your first pass around, you don't seem to notice anything through. As you swing out a little bit further and the water gets a little deeper, you start to see wildlife. So there are fish, and you see clam beds and oyster beds and things here. There's a couple snakes that kind of swim by here in the marshy space. You think you see is it crocodiles or alligators that are saltwater or estuary?
Crocodiles.
Okay, yeah, you see a crocodile. That you think you see a crocodile kind of like in the mud at the bottom of the marsh, and you quickly swim away from that. But the only odd thing you catch on the second spin through is bones at the bottom of the marsh that seem fairly fresh. And when you're investigating them, they look to be the bones of maybe a sheep or a goat or something like that. Clearly not a water creature. On your third run through with the other 15, you get the sense that when you're swimming out, at this point, you're approaching kind of like you're on the third ring away from the harbor. Mm-hmm. And that near the harbor, it's really weird. All that wildlife and fish life is not there. It's all seeming to like stay away from certain parts of the harbor area. So that's kind of what you see there. Kaimana, you go the furthest deep out. On your first swim through, you get distracted and you eat 6 clams. But they are fresh and delicious. But with a natural 20 on the second one, there's a moment where you're swimming around kind of perpendicular to the spit of land that's 50 or 60 feet away from you, where the shop is, and it's almost imperceptible. But you notice a mound in the mud at the bottom of the marsh, and when you go down and kind of hit it, it collapses down. Like there was once a tunnel underneath the marshland here that collapsed. And you're able to kind of trace the path of the tunnel far enough in one direction and another to say like, okay, this is heading off in the harbor direction, and it's coming from the spit of land where the shop was. So maybe whatever creature popped up at the spit of land, this was the tunnel that it followed to, it dug its way through over here. With a 9 on your third pass through, you make friends with a flounder. And it follows you around for the rest of your trip, and that's really distracting. But you are able to identify that path of whatever it was that popped up at the shop and then dug its way underneath and was heading this direction. Marlo, what were your 3?
I got a 9, a 14, and a 22.
You had some clams too.
So there's such an interesting like storytelling mechanic here that the 2 people who are not accustomed to being swimmers did very poorly on their first check.
Yeah.
Whereas Kaimana just did poorly on his last one because he was like, I've swam enough, and here's a flounder friend. But so on your 9, Marlo, you kind of get out, and it's weird, like channeling the power of the wave dancer, and you're like, it's almost like Marlo's fighting against it and like trying to run through the water in a way that's like not natural.
Using the sword to cut through the water.
Yeah, like
not exactly. I don't know how it works yet.
And then finally, like when you finally let go and you just start like moving your feet, it's like you blast off at the same speed that Kaimana swims. So like an aquatic creature swimming through, and you're kind of checking around, as you are swimming out through, you don't necessarily notice anything on your second pass, but with that 22, you are the only one who rolled super high on the final pass. And so you are as close to the harbor as it gets. And it's just like a shark in the water. You do smell the faint traces of blood. You can't tell how far away it is, but you didn't smell it till you started getting out towards the more open ocean waters. And it's not fish blood. It's not animal blood. That is human blood.
I will message whoever's closest to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I assume we're all in a similar distance.
Yeah.
So I'm going to message and be like, I smell blood. I'm going to go investigate. Don't follow, but keep an eye on me. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go try to. And once I get like, I want to try to stealth over there, just in case something's still there.
Okay. So go ahead and make a stealth check, and then make a perception check. You are out in more open ocean, so the DC is much higher for perceiving the exact direction. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna, from the harbors, basically where the basin where the docks are.
Yeah.
Going to basically settle down there at the bottom so that can shoot out if we need to.
Yes. And the water is a little clearer here too. So you can kind of see Marlo off in the distance disappearing out. And Marlo, like the ground here at the harbor dips very suddenly off into much deeper waters, and you find yourself out in the open, like 60 or 70 feet below you before you get to like the sloping shelf of land going into deeper ocean. And there are off to the side, you can see like a jetty of natural formed coral with all kinds of coral, but you do notice very few fish in that direction. But what was your perception? What was your perception check?
So I rolled 2 17s.
2 17s.
So my perception is a 23, and my stealth is a 30.
Wow.
23. So what you notice first is that there are, when you get out into this space, it's difficult to tell direction of where exactly the blood is coming from, but you get the sense that there might be a few options because of the eddies and flows of the tides here. Okay. And so you make your way, considering the time and considering being alone, you make your way to the closest potential source, which is underneath the coral reef off to the left of the harbor. You can kind of make out a small sea cave underneath it. But you notice, like, looking out in the hard rock structures around here, there are many small sea caves. And so this could be a potential search thing, but you get the sense that, like, your blood sense is directing you in one direction. So you make your way there. You dive further down with a 30.
I'm going to pop up very quickly when I'm over where I want to investigate.
Sure.
And I'm going to signal to the group that this is where I am. And if I don't come up in 5 minutes, I'm probably dead.
Okay.
And I go back down.
Right. Mar does shit. I hate that Mar does shit like this.
You pop back down, and thankfully that 30 on your stealth, the only fish that you've seen swimming by, a great white shark, scuttles by without noticing you and keeps on making its way, also seemingly probably attracted by the smell of blood.
I message Abel and Jordan and let them know to come to the harbor.
Okay. So Abel and
there is a
Jordan.
world in which I wish Mar fought a great white shark.
It could have happened.
I don't want to fight great white sharks. I don't want to.
It could have happened.
The image of it is kind of.
It could have happened.
I get mad raps. I love sharks.
I know. I'm just.
I feel
they're
the
great.
same way about sharks as I do about wolves.
Yes, wolves.
Also, I think it would be kind of funny.
So as the sun's beginning, because this was a 3-hour...
Where shark? My next character.
There you go. This was a 3-hour trip. So we are at the point where the sun's beginning its 3-hour trip. This is the sun's beginning its descent in the sky. So this is like, if this isn't it, you at least know that the harbor space is probably where you want to do some searching.
Right. Okay.
And you kind of dive down into the sea cave, and you're kind of making your way through. It's a very narrow passageway. You're kind of having to like pull yourself through some of the tighter gaps. Thankfully, Mar doesn't have like fear, like claustrophobia. And you finally you start angling up, and you emerge kind of up into a fairly small, maybe 15-foot wide, but maybe 20-foot long cavern space here. And when you pop up, you smell again, and it was difficult underwater to know, but the humanoid blood that you were smelling here very clearly and obviously was not human. As there are 7 dead, I always pronounce this wrong, Sahagwins.
Oh, Sahagans.
Sahagans in this space. And Mar would know what they are, but kind of fish-like humanoid creatures. Yeah. But there are 7 dead here. And you see that like they were put up against a wall and kind of encased in almost like this mucusy space. And then it seems like they were fed on from that space. Oh. But you don't see anything else here, and you don't see any humans in this space. The water hid the fact maybe this is like 2 or 3 weeks old. So this is maybe an old space or an old cavern that was used by this creature. Yeah.
Can I investigate around in here to see if there's anything that would signal me more about what this creature is, or anything telling on the bodies of who they might be, like around?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Please be good. You are good. Thank you. 21.
So Sahagin, very simple. There's a lot of bone spears and like shark tooth necklaces and things like that. There was one fairly large one that had a sword that looks like it was made out of like the jagged claw of a giant crab.
God, that's kind of rad.
Yeah. But other than that, you don't notice anything on the bodies of the Sahagin. It's interesting because they are not like torn apart. They're very much like drained in a way, like whatever creature it was just kind of sucked out their essence of life from inside. The blood that you were smelling seems like it probably spilled out in that process, because none of these creatures have any blood left inside of them. you do find like leftover bits of this mucusy stuff, and it's kind of beginning to dry into a powder, but you chip away at it and you see the mucus at the underneath the powder layers, and it matches the same type of powder same type of mucus that you'd already captured. But this is an older space of that. The only other thing that you do realize is that while the soft dirt of an inlet island is easily replaced when something burrows through it, this cavern is filled with about 7 to 8 foot wide holes in the ground or in the side where something has burrowed through this space.
I'm gonna leave now.
I'm sorry.
Bogtown.
Your storytelling through visual horror and tension is really beautiful. I respectfully hate it, and I will disengage.
You got good snot. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
It's the fucking best. I love it.
yeah. All right. So Marlo, you make your way back to
And Mars kind of like fucked up. This is disturbing shit, even by like Mars pretty high standards of what.
So to
counts
clarify,
as
though, me and
disturbing
Abel were left alone for a little bit.
Yes, you were.
shit.
Abel.
So you had 3 hours of alone time with Abel.
What's up, Abel?
Oh no.
What's up with you? Why are you acting? Why are you being sketchy? What's wrong? Tell me what's going on.
I'm not being sketchy.
You're 100% being. You said the weird comment about the dragon. You were late to the dinner. I mean, you could pretend like you're not acting weird, but you are.
Wow, just jumped right in. Well, since we asked questions,
no, don't do your deflect it back on me. You're gonna try to deflect on me because you don't want to answer my questions. So you're gonna ask me why I'm being sketchy, which is also accurate. But I'm not going to tell you why I'm being sketchy unless you tell me why you're being sketchy. Or at least why you can't tell me why you're being sketchy.
you know, Julie, that is actually quite fair. I will say that, although I cannot go into too much detail, there are so many things that I wish I could let you all know, but I have been sworn to secrecy. Just know that I am doing what I think is best. And I do believe that things are in the best possible hands that they can be.
I trust you completely, Abel. So, if that's what you think's the best call.
That means a lot to me, Julie. Thank you.
Secrets are big power. You should know that.
Secrets can cause a lot of harm as well. And I'm starting to learn that.
Well, sometimes things are secret because they cause more harm than good, you know?
Absolutely, but
something shouldn't be kept secret. It's a whole thing. It's Vox Populi stuff. We talk about this a lot, you know, while we steal people's information.
You should be an expert on the subject at this point.
Oh.
No
Yeah.
shade.
There wasn't a shady thing. I understand. I thought maybe it was a secret about Laura said there was like a guy in Nuevia, so I thought it'd be something juicy, but
A guy? What?
like a guy from like your childhood, or like a younger guy, like an old. So I thought maybe it was like Jaren and him saw each other that drugged. Nairoi keeps making me read these books, and now I'm all like weird. I'm all thinking about scenarios where these things drama happens.
Have you heard from Nairoi?
Oh my god, we don't have to talk about that right now. Listen, no. Okay, I didn't. Okay, I like sent to him, but it's like with cash thing, you know.
So things are going well?
I don't know. He was like, "Your mom's cool," and I was like, "I don't know. Is she? I don't know." So, it's like
Well, Julie, since we are talking about honesty,
okay.
I think it is only fair that I tell you.
It's so funny because
His screen is completely frozen.
It's really funny.
That's so weird. Yeah, why is my screen whited out?
I don't know, but it's making me laugh because you're like, tell me about honesty. Frozen in place.
Try like turning off the camera and then turning it back on.
because it's just you're. It's weird because like your volume's fine.
Yeah, your voice is fine. Just
Something went wrong with the visual effect. Cannot be applied. Can't be
Okay.
applied.
Well, we'll just do your voice for now, and then we'll try to fix it. Yeah.
What are you asking me?
I will say that I forgot what I was going to even say.
Talk about honesty.
I have it on good authority that your ex may have escaped prison while the capital city was being attacked.
You say this, and like Jury takes off the dulcimer and then just jumps into the water and just like lays down in the bog water.
No.
It's just
I thought they agreed not to tell.
floating there. And it's like, why is this happening to me?
It will be okay.
No, it's nothing's okay.
I don't hurt yourself. It's not worth it.
No, it didn't hurt. I just wanted to get in the swamp because I don't know why. Actually, I don't know why I hopped in the water.
Oh my!
I can stand. It's very shallow.
Okay. Oh, you give me a heart attack! Oh my goodness!
No, Jerry's just like standing up in the water now, looking up at you.
Lisa,
Wait.
this is nothing that we can't.
You broke out of prison. I don't want to be dealing with that right now. I'm just trying to reconnect with my mom, and that would.
And I debated whether this was the right time to tell you, but
no, it absolutely is the right thing to tell me. I gotta kick his ass if I see him, but
I don't want him to pop up in 3 or 4 episodes, and then
he's a messy bitch who lives for drama. Of course he will.
but
No.
at least if you know, you can prepare yourself.
I'm like climbing back onto the thing. No, you're
I'm
right,
helping
you're
you
right.
back up.
Yeah, I'm like tripping. Yeah, he's right. No, you are completely correct. That's bad. Bad. He broke out of prison. Not good. I'm gonna. One moment. I'm gonna do ascending to Iris really quick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell her.
Good idea.
Send Iris. Be like. Which one is he? Yorian, out of prison.
Which one is he?
Well, I get their names are just reversed, so it's tough sometimes. You get their names mixed up too. Yorian, out of prison. How do I hold on? You're out of prison. Anarvir vulnerable right now. Esper might be making a move.
You get a message back, not long. We'd heard Esper had made a break at the jail, to be expected. Anavir quite chaotic right now. Odd happenings, water going bad, food turning to dust. Keeping an eye on it.
I can't deal with any more information like this. Why do we?
Did we see when the pyramid
You did not. It happened like
This is the first we're finding out about.
Yeah, it was it was like a day and a half later. Yeah.
I just go up to Abel and even though I'm damp, I hug him. You're like covered in the bog water and just hug you.
Okay, so as the sun is setting beautifully over the ocean here in Bogtown, the lanterns and torches being lit around gives a beautiful air of dancing light to this community, which you could imagine in different climes would be like a party town with new ships coming in, but it is fairly quiet here. But Marlowe returns from their excursion under the waves, and you all rejoin together.
Mar shakes off like a dog the water, and then but looks very perturbed. Hey, so
What'd you find?
7 dead bodies with all their blood drained out of them, like their life was sucked out of them, and the creature has been popping up in and out through this like whole tunnel system, and there's a bunch of underwater cabins, and I'm guessing that this is very frequent.
But they were like fish people?
Yeah. It's like a race.
Do they like live underwater? Okay.
Sahagins?
Can we roll to see what we know about the Sahagins?
Kaimana knows all you need to know about Sahagins.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's encountered them before.
Kaimana, do they live like around here?
Do they have natural predators that
They're just like people that are underwater.
Okay.
are there any predators that would normally hunt them?
What would hunt you?
Terrifying question.
What, like a shark or?
But these, like, they had weapons on them. They looked like fighters. These weren't just like random townspeople. Like, they could have put up a fight.
It sounds almost like a ritualistic killing, not necessarily.
I don't know. To me, it kind of feels like something that's
feeding on them. Or?
feeding. Yeah, it's doing what it needs
But
to
only
do to
drinking the
survive.
blood.
And
Can I
if
make
it's-
a nature check, Josh? Because I have a hypothesis, and I want to.
Sure.
And Atwood has a hypothesis.
I was
See if
making a hypothesis.
Oh,
Can I
sorry.
finish
Sorry.
it?
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
you're good. No, go roll
Yeah.
for it. But my guess is that this is a creature that thrives on taking it needs to eat a lot and frequently, and it survives off of the energy and life essence of other people, and how it gets away with that is by erasing the existences of the people it eats.
Do you think that happens when it eats them, when it sucks that essence out, that it also sucks
That's
the
my
memory of
guess.
them out?
That would be my guess, is that it's the consumption process. There's some magical fucked up curse thing there. But my only thing is that I suspect there's probably some other quality it has about making itself be forgotten. Because like how else would it be able to get around? Like somebody should have seen this thing by now. If it's really grabbing all these people and it's just going around town and climbing up walls and stuff.
And it was 8 feet in the size of it.
Big.
Yeah.
And even if it's just going around at night, it's taking so many people.
Perhaps it could shape change as well. Shape change affects memories.
Maybe
We know
if
of
it
any
could say
feature that
change,
can-
I don't know why it would have the same form when it comes up. You know what I mean? Like the tracks I found, but it totally could have that ability.
Is my flounder friend still in the water?
How many clams did you feed it?
I mean, at least one.
Then yes.
I'm going to cast Speak with Animals,
Okay.
Oh.
and I'm going to ask him if he's seen anything like really big that's been eating Sahagins and people.
So
Also, real quick,
yes.
let me for what I was going to roll.
I
I wanted
have to read some. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Mhm.
I wanted to make a hypothesis that the creature, whatever it was, ran out of Sahagins, which is why it's now going after the townsfolk.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
probably. Yeah.
Mhm.
This is a recent development, but the creature's not young.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So you asked the flounder, has it seen anything? And it. Let's see. What I have
What's
to read.
that? Are you looking up the memory capacity of a flounder right now?
I am looking up the
Oh my
intelligence of a
God.
flounder. Oh no. Okay, that's based on wisdom, so that doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So the flounder says, "Well, it's really weird. I haven't seen any of the big fish lately."
Yeah, stay low and stay hidden for a little while, and I'm gonna.
It flattens out onto the ground, just
Aw.
shakes itself, and mud covers it, and you just see its little eyes on top of its head.
I'm gonna pop out another oyster and toss it down to him.
It pops up to eat it and then scurries back down and buries itself in the mud again. I love that I know enough about flounders to know that that's what they do.
They are. They're great. I love them.
Dude, flounders are great.
Yeah.
They are. It's true.
All right. But night's fallen. You do have rooms at the Wayfarers that the Seablade crew is reserved for you, or you can stay on the ship. It's up to you all.
I'm gonna veto the ship tonight, gang.
Yeah, no, I mean, can't tunnel through the ship. At least not without sinking it. So,
but it could. I mean, I don't want the ship to be sank.
I feel like if we're all staying on the ship, at least one of us should maybe stay up to make sure.
Stand watch.
Yeah,
and stand. I almost want to say stand watch below deck, watching the companionway because it's a single point of entry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess we'll do that. Probably.
Okay. All right. So y'all make your way back to the ship.
I hate this idea.
What?
Let's stay on the ship.
I mean, we could all go out. I think we just stay together. It doesn't really matter where we are.
Yeah.
As long as one person's on watch.
I mean, I did want to kind of like feel up the pirates' bad fucking
Don't we all?
I wanted to get
whatever it takes, Jace.
I wanted to get a feel for the pirates.
I'm not saying I created Aryan Squall Eater as a potential trap for Marlowe.
I know that you're thirst trapping me, right? I understand. Like, I knew when you described the character, I was like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait. We've got the slime, right?
Yeah.
We have slime. Do you have a druid thing?
Josh, can I scry on it?
Can you scry on it?
whoa!
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, that's
Whoa!
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. What's your saving throw? For scry?
So second hand, because I've heard of the target, so
Yep.
it's a +5 modifier, but -10 because we have body part from it.
Yes, you do.
My
we don't
God.
have a likeness or a possession or a garment, so it's a -5.
So it's a -10 to their roll, and then you have +5 on your roll.
Okay.
Okay,
So
cool.
My
So-
save is a 17.
17. Let me see what that was.
This
Okay,
may
cool.
be one of the first scryings ever done with slime.
So
slime cry.
this come on you scry. And you all watch as like Kaimana puts the vial at the kind of right in front of him and begins to cast the druidic magic, and you just watch like cattails and swamp grasses begin to sprout up around him in this circle. And it's weird because you've seen Abel draw arcane sigils before, but here like literally nature is drawing the arcane sigil for Kaimana to cast the spell. And then
Also, can I just, for flavor's sake,
Yeah.
can I say that like Kaimana doesn't tell anybody what he's about to do? He just asks for the vial and
Yeah,
starts
this
doing
happens.
this.
And for a moment, as the sigil kind of closes around him and the cattails kind of sprout up and begin to kind of blow apart in the wind, and the seeds of the cattails start spreading around, and then they start whipping around Kaimana, and his vision goes green. As Kaimana, you feel your mind race through air and then down into water, and then through the cold, murky depths of an ocean into a cave, and then you open your eye. You see you're in a cavern space. You see a man, older, maybe 40, 50 years old, clearly deceased, against a wall surrounded by mucus. You see a tall, blue-skinned, bluish hair, Triton female struggling against the binds of mucus surrounding her. You see another individual, a tall, brawny, tan-skinned man, also struggling against his binds. You watch as the tan-skinned man looks up. No! And you just watch as blood begins to pour out of his mouth and vanish into the air above him. But you don't see what's doing it.
Okay, so it's invisible.
And then the scry fades and you're pulled back into your vision.
Shit.
All right, I relate all of this. Could I tell where the cave was?
You get the sense that it is in the harbor to the right-hand side of the harbor, away from the coral banks. When you tell Marlo, you remember there were 5. You pinged like 5 or 6 potential cave entrances over that direction, but that does narrow down your search area.
I relay that it's probably one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Do we go at night?
I could make a lantern of revealing, so if the creature is invisible, if it's in the light of the light.
If we can't see it, then we can't see it, you know. Everyone here can see in the dark.
And you have burnt through many a spell slot today.
Yeah, I think it works, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Half-orcs have. But you have burnt through many a spell slot today, too.
I'm full up except for 1 5th level, so...
I've been using a fair amount of spells, but I got upper level spells. Pretty good.
I mean, we could also...
No spells today.
I mean, it sounds like from Kamana's thing that we've got a short window of time here to act.
I mean, if we think do we think maybe it finds victims at night? If it just fed, it would make sense that it goes out at night, perhaps, to find more victims. That'd be, even if you're invisible, that's probably the best time to go, right?
Do we want to try to lure it, or do we want to try to meet it in the cave?
I have another idea.
What's that?
I can remove the water from above the cave. I can make all of that land dry if we have to.
So if we go in and ambush it and remove the water? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes.
So, counterpoint, how about rescue mission first, then fight? So, focus just on getting the survivor out first, and then we fight the same.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And then maybe we can stake out if it's going back to one of those caverns, then we can keep an eye out and try to get it before it gets in with its...
I mean, does anyone have...
Marlo,
does anyone have
make
alarm?
a survival check for me, please.
Okay. Do you guys have alarm spell?
I do not.
Damn, that would be so nice right now.
Survival?
Yes. With advantage.
Don't think I have
with
it.
Advantage. Not one with my advantage. It's a 19.
When you were in the Sahagin cave, you got the sense from looking at all of the different like mucus encasings that it was like there seemed to be a time period of days that separated their age. And using that with your mind, do you think that maybe this creature doesn't have to feed every day? So you might have...
that's why it stocks up.
Yeah, you might have time that it may hunt every night, but it doesn't feed every day.
Right. Because that's why it has multiple victims at a time.
Yeah. So you... Okay. Yeah. So if you wanted, like, you feel like if you wanted to take a rest, it wouldn't... That he just fed, it just fed.
It's probably not leaving.
You might have a couple days. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I relay that info to the group.
Knowing that.
So rescue mission, then maybe we leave Anansi in the cave to stake it out for when he comes back, and then we try to ambush him. I don't want to... My thing is, if he sees that someone's not there anymore, we won't know where it's gone from there. With the person in that cave, we know that's the cave they're going back to. That's my only thought.
We go there and set up an ambush.
Stealth rescue mission and...
Yeah, so we secure them, and then we wait there.
So I think we full rest tonight. Let's get back up, because we know we have some time, and then we can set up down there.
And that'll give Abel time to make their lantern of revealing.
I already have that made. So, but
You're
if anyone
fast.
wants to their magic,
You also need to go through the long rest in order to create the infusion. Is that correct? Is that the end of a short rest or a long rest?
well,
Is that right?
I already had that one out from like way back when.
Oh, okay.
I never changed that infusion.
Okay.
I have
The cloak of the manta ray, though.
a proposal for the committee. Backup. The pirates are there.
Absolutely.
If we offer the pirates money to help us with this, then we get a healer, which I think is probably the biggest one. And we get several other fighters, but a healer is always really cool to.
And then when they realize that we have rescued their crewmate,
then we get them on the side.
They are ingratiated to us.
Yeah.
And we get our money back.
No, I highly doubt the pirates are going to get the money back.
With this crew, I don't believe that might be an option. But
we curry favor.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's a big deal. And I think with a creature like this, probably need all the help we can get. But I can, if we can't see it, and we lose track of where it is, I can brand it if I just get one hit, and then I'll always know where it is roughly. So I can help if we lose it for whatever reason. I can help track it down. I just got to get one hit in on it.
Okay.
Who is your last branding on?
I think you dropped it on Yorian. I can't remember.
I don't remember. I haven't put it on anyone else though, so I feel like it's just still.
So maybe it's
on
still
him.
on Yorian. Yeah.
It's still on you. It's on Yorian. I should probably take it off of him. He's just in prison, so. I haven't checked in on him in a while. Where's Yorian? Where's your? Because I would assume that Yorian would still be in your direction, like.
Yeah, you get the sense that Yorian is at this point north of where you're located, like far north of where you're located, but that would be about 100 miles from Alyria.
Is he though?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
They broke him out.
Yeah, he's 100 miles out of Alyria.
Yeah, Abel just told me.
Well, goddamn. I can't do shit about that. But I can't.
No worries if you need to curse this thing, but might be useful to have that one as well.
I think it's probably safer in case we lose it I feel like if it's between a humanoid eating beast that erases people's existence and your ex-boyfriend, I know it's hard to choose. It's part of a very.
I feel like you just described the same person twice.
Bullets, then yes, but
they mean about the same to me at this point.
Yeah.
So
he is part of a very dangerous spy network that wants to. Fringe group of a spy network that wants to overthrow their leaders. So
part of it is my thing's really only useful. It's not as helpful with like long-term tracking. I mean, because like I can tell you like, oh, he's northwest right now, but like I can't really give you anything more than that.
No, you're fine.
With the creature, it's a lot better.
Nope. Mark the creature. I really don't.
The only other thing I can think it would be super useful on is if we can mark someone in the Cloud City, and we'd always know where that is. But
yeah,
that's about what I got right now.
That's fine.
All right. So you all heading to the Wayfarer then to meet with the pirates? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you make your way through town. Yeah. You arrive at the Wayfarer. Light music playing. There's a wraparound kind of porch situation here. It's very like bayou, Louisiana style. There's some people like sitting out on the porch, kind of like smoking and drinking, and there's some sound coming from inside. When you cross through to the inside, you see Aryan Squall Eater, you see Ilwarinen and Tirami, you see Griphook, Strongjaw, and then you see another figure that you hadn't met the day before, a tall tabaxi, calico in color, kind of with a hood up, covering her face. And she's kind of standing away from the others, kind of keeping a very close eye. And the moment you walk in the door, she kind of leans over, and then Aryan like looks up. Well, the ticket takers have decided to join us today. Jonas, brother, please provide with them anything that they would like to drink on my tab, of course. And this kind of paunchy man behind the counter says, I don't know why she keeps calling me Jonas, brother. My name is Tom. But he sets out like a tray filled with local ales for each of you. And then Aryan kind of says, and you had not met, this is my shadow, as it were. This is Misty Cloud, always nearby. And none of you saw them before because Misty Cloud rolled a natural 20 on her stealth check.
Wow.
And she just kind of nods in your direction. But the Seablade crew is here. In addition to the kegs of ale, she presents you with 2 keys for rooms. The rooms are a little smaller here, so you can fit up to 3 people in a room. So you could have 3 and 2, or however you want to divide that. But you've got 2 keys as well for the Wayfarer.
Can we take like a 5 or a 10?
Yeah. So are you guys planning on talking to them this evening, or are you waiting to speak to them?
We're going to talk to them because.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So we will take 5 really quick, and then
I just like my foot's asleep and I'm like dying.
Oh no, we're fine. Yeah, we'll take 5, and then we'll come back
have to fix this
for you all to talk to them before you take your night's rest. So yeah, good. All right, cool.
Thank you, 5.
Thank you, 5.
Okay. All right. So you all are in the Wayfarer, and Tom Jonas has placed a thing next to you, just as a random whatever. There's a painting on the wall of the Jonas Brothers. There are 3 of them in the painting, but you only see 2 men wandering around the Wayfarer.
No, we said the man who just got eaten. Oh God.
Tom's not quite the same.
We asked Tom.
We
asked Tom about this, and he simply tells us it's not unusual.
Oh my God.
Tom says, like when the painting goes, it was just like, oh, it's just a fantastical painting. It's just my brother Bob and I. But you're there.
Like this bar as much. Jerry's just having a moment where it's like, I miss my old bartender.
But the Squall Eaters, the Seablade crew is there. If you would like to talk to any of them,
I look to Mar.
I look at Jury. I message you. What?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you'd take point on this.
All right. Hey. What's up?
Aryan is like sitting back.
Is this like, are we at like a communal table, or did I have to like go join them, or like what?
So the way the Seablade, like there's like long communal tables at this bar, and Aryan's kind of sitting at the head of one in like this like leather lounger chair. And so she's kind of like, she kind of just,
gosh, do your hot woman lean back.
Hot woman lean back.
Yes, and Josh is like,
she goes, yes, what is up with you?
Well, we've had quite a day, actually. I think we're on the trail of a sea monster.
Oh, a sea monster. She kind of looks at Ilwarinen, and where we come from, there are many sea monsters.
Have you heard of one that not only like captures people and drags them into underwater cabins to then feed on them, but it also seems to erase the memories of their existence in others.
She kind of gives you a weird look, and then she turns to Ilwaren and Ilwaren steps forward. Well, I'm probably the oldest member of the Seablade crew. I've been alive longer than the present world has existed. I remember the subversion. That doesn't ring a bell. Sahagwin are known for dragging people down into caves. Are you sure it might not be one of them?
If I told you I found a bunch of their dead bodies, I would say no. We found like mucus. It seems to be rather large. And I kind of just briefly explain like the clues and things we found.
Wernan says, well, as much as we have explored all of the lands of Alyria, and once the worlds beyond, the oceans are still a mystery to many of us.
Yeah.
Who knows what their depths may hold?
Fish. Probably
You'd
love
think
fish.
that might be the least of your worries.
Apparently.
As an adventuring guild, and we seem to think that there might be some people captured in its cave. We were going to try to deal with it in the morning, and we were wondering if we could perhaps contract you all or some of you to assist us.
Arian kind of says, well, since we are waiting for the navigator to arrive, we are kind of on downtime. You are more than welcome to contract. Our going rate is rather high, unless you'd like to just hire one of us. A day rate of 1,500 gold for a single member of the Seablade crew. We are very good at our jobs.
No, price yourself accordingly. I get that,
Your labor is valuable.
Yeah, freelancers
Absolutely.
should, charge accordingly.
Pay your creators, yes.
Exactly.
I could have made so much money freelancing.
If you if you had the reputation that the Seablade crew has, then yes. But we had to build our reputation.
My reputation's more like a secretive thing, so.
Is it?
Yes.
Say your reputation is secretive, but I don't know how much of a secret it is.
It was before.
Sure.
But with that in mind, Arian would kind of, if you decide that you would like to contract one of them, she says very bluntly that one of their members is currently off exploring the area and is not available. Arian's rate is that she's on the ship, so she can't leave the ship. But you can... Grip Hook is a fighter. So if you need somebody with some brute muscle, there is Ilwaren, who is a cleric, so can heal. And there is Misty Cloud, who is a rogue, does have, is just a pure roguish character. So if you want another person who can be sneaky or whatever.
I'll check in with the group and see what we think is the most needed.
Did we say we would best benefit from another healer?
I that would be my thing, but if we think we need bigger damage, then...
I think we have the firepower.
I don't think we need the frontline guy.
Yeah,
you've got that.
Hold on, are you guys having this conversation at the end of the table?
I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. No, I don't think this needs to be a secret.
Ilwaren kind of says, I realize that with my name being the healer of the ship, that you might think me a soft petal of a flower, but I was well trained in the armies of Azalor as a fighter, and I only worship the god Suvanar as a boon. I might be called what you may a Tempest cleric.
Wow, y'all are so cool.
So
Sign her up.
So she can be a frontline fighter who also, I mean, Tempest clerics focus on damage spells, but do have the ability to heal as well.
Yeah, let's take her.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
Best of both worlds.
I love Ilwaren. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah, we'll make sure she doesn't get eaten by a big slug thing.
Cool. I'll drop the 1,500 for her.
Yes, they do require payment in advance, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, they're
They
fine.
do.
All right, good. So yeah, 1,500 for the day for Ilwaren, and she says, "Well, I'll be ready to go at dawn. I'm going to go ahead and get some sleep. I didn't think that I would be fighting, but got to polish my armor, of course." And she
Josh,
heads
I
up to
messaged
her
you.
room. Oh, she heads
Thank
up to
you.
her room. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is which
Getting
one?
robbed.
So guys, I'm kind of thinking we might need some blood.
I got plenty.
Great. Good then.
Yeah,
I'm
you
thinking.
can have
I was gonna have to. I was gonna shed
I
blood
know.
regardless.
I know.
So I mean, might as well.
But
So
to-
while you're all having this conversation, and Soros is sitting there, whatever, subterfugely, pulled a card from the deck of certain things.
You
and
Soros,
Soros, you look down at it, and it appears that it looks like a card or a letter or an envelope, and the envelope opens and it kind of pulls up and it says, just like this scrawled ink that says, "You are invited." And this is card 7 because you've already pulled 9, the invitation card. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, there's a burst of black smoke on the table, and you all see this impish winged creature appear out of nowhere. It kicks you in the shins, it says "fuck off, mate," and then disappears into the puff of smoke.
What just happened?
I thought I was going to say we've been trying to reach you about your extended warranty.
Trying to reach you like your airship.
Your extended warranty.
I didn't do anything that time. That wasn't me.
All right, so
It
now
wasn't me. It wasn't me.
card number 7 has been pulled.
Not
All
me.
right.
So who
What was that?
pulled the card? What's happened?
Who do you think?
Don't look at me.
Boys at the dinner table.
Source, we're with
Source
company.
of all people.
Manners.
There's a time
What-
and a place.
What did the card say?
I understand you're 2 years old, but you have to put your Game Boy up. You can't bring Game Boy.
I got kicked in the shin and it said "fuck off, mate."
Yeah.
Wow.
That's 6 of 10. You're almost there.
That's all the card does is
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
assault you, insult you, and then leave.
That's
Okay.
about right.
Yeah.
I think half the cards are meant to insult you, and the other half are potentially useful.
I
Yeah,
guess
it's just a ticket taker drinking game that we like to play. Magic object.
yes, we are
The only member of the Seablade crew who gives a shit is Misty, and it's because Misty doesn't trust anything.
Okay, cool. I missed
Oh,
you. Hello.
The moment you say that, and Misty
Yeah.
just goes and looks at you, and then looks away.
Yeah. Okay.
question: how much detail
Lauren
when,
looks on, being like, I used to be like that.
when Jury did that sending? How much detail did we get about what was going on in the capital city?
They
In
said the water was turning bad, and then food
Food
was
was
turning bad.
turned
Dust.
into dust. Yes.
Yeah.
and that's it, right? Like nothing.
Yeah. that
Yeah,
was
nothing
that
else.
dude.
Again,
That's-
remember
that's
that
it.
Iris is not. Iris is an Anarvir, so
Yeah.
she's dealing with secondhand knowledge as well. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, okay, yeah.
So we can message
forgot
Devin
that.
if we wanted a clear idea of what that is about.
I
but
just one crisis at a time. This is too
I know,
much.
read 4
At least
today.
this one probably doesn't have to do with us.
Arian says, "Oh,
Absolutely, yes.
Are you all
There's
talking-
no way we caused those problems.
I don't mean to interrupt, of
No.
course, but are you all
Go on.
talking about the odd happenings in the capital city?"
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you know? What's going on with that?
Ah, yes. Well, there was a dragon attack. It seemed an assassination attempt on the king. And then,
Look, I want those things.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
yes,
Further
and
past
then mysteriously, this massive pyramidal structure appeared where the palace once was. And since then, the vicinity of the capital has been experiencing famine-like conditions, and many people are having to evacuate from the city.
What? We said it at the same time.
What? Except two completely different tones? Yeah.
Do you all think that was part of Aruman's plan to
drop a giant pyramid?
The moment you say Aruman, the only person with enough passive to catch it might be Marlowe. The moment you say Aruman, you see Arian's eyes cut to Ilwaren and then back to you, but it's just a quick cut.
I message you.
Can I do like a further insight, or is that all I get?
Well, it's like watching somebody. It's a second but it's enough that you caught it. Yeah. There's nothing about her face changes other than that.
I hear Abel say this, and I earbug you, and I was like, remember the do not talk list. I thought that wasn't for you, just the toddlers, but I guess it was for you too. Please don't mention that.
The giant pyramids. Sometimes you forget the rules.
I guess so. Giant pyramid.
Yeah, it's wow, it sounds like the capital is in anarchy. That's cool.
Yes.
I'm trying to relate to the pirates, being like, you guys like.
She says, I mean, it definitely opens up the doors for more money for those of us willing to spend to be bought with coin by the highest bidder, of course.
God, I hate these.
Yeah, how long have you been?
Contain your disdain, Judy.
I have to roll. It's pissing me off. I rolled nat 1. I rolled nat 1.
I was going to say you got to beat a 21.
I rolled nat 1.
You rolled a nat 1. Your deception around anybody is terrible.
It's the idea that they're talking about doing stuff for money. I'm like, as a freedom fighter type person.
Yeah, it's enough that Arian's probably dealt with this type of look at her lifestyle for so long. She doesn't give a shit that you're talking shit. But Malo, the Seaplane crew began as a small branch of the Tidewater Syndicate. Lord, I've probably been the captain of the Seaplane for 20 years or so. I know, I look my age, right?
That was not good. I was good.
But anyway, around 5 years or so ago, I had saved up enough money that I was able to buy out the remainder of our contract, and we went private. And we are now privateers who sail the seas, and we still work some with the Tidewaters, but just as likely to work with the people of Bogtown if they raise the coin, or Noevia, although we are banned from their shores.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who also recently went from being part of an organization to being an independent kind of thing, it's pretty great.
Yes, when you are able to call your own shots and do your own thing, there is a freedom in that once you taste it, cannot be easily given up.
God, this whole conversation bothers me. Jury's gonna get up and leave. I think it's air. You're talking about this. It's my thing just fucked up on accident. This is all specifically bothering me.
You can have to leave.
That nat 1 is carrying over, and I'm gonna I should get some air.
Okay.
I gotta call my mom. All right, goodbye, everyone. I'll be back.
And Arian is your friend okay? He seems a little upset.
He's going through a time, but he's really good about separating that work-life balance. So it really doesn't affect the day-to-day. It's just if you catch him on the wrong.
You see him going outside, and he's like, fuck.
He is from Anabir, and the news you gave is disturbing. So.
Yes, I see. I apologize if I was triggering to anybody with that. I should be more careful about my dire tidings.
Honestly, we deal with dire tidings a lot. I think most of us are getting a bit of stomach for it these days.
Mess. Misty kind of leans down and whispers in Arian's ear, and she says, "No, Misty, I'm enjoying the conversation. It is fine."
What?
I'm sorry. Have we offended in some way?
I apologize. Misty is very overprotective, and feels that I am passing beyond the. I've been awake for quite some time, and she probably feels like I should get some sleep. But
Oh, I mean, we don't. I don't want to keep you
no.
if you with the
And take a drink.
Well said,
You're stumbling
Barlow.
over your words.
it's that's pretty. You'll find that's pretty common with me all the time. It doesn't get worse in certain companies. It's just constant. It's
Wow.
definitely not when I'm around certain people. I get more flustered and upset. I would like to roll deception.
Okay.
Incredible.
You pull up Arian's sheet here for her.
Yeah, nice.
Insight. Oh god, she has plus 11 to insight.
Nice.
Oh damn, she's better than me on insight.
Yeah,
Wow.
as a pirate
Wow.
captain.
And I rolled a 5, so think
Oh
about that.
no. So she just kind of
Really a
like
certain company.
she just smiles, winks, and like pushes your beard tankard a little closer to you, and just says, turning the subject away to allow you to be comfortable in your stumbling silence.
Yeah, no, everybody's around, and I'm very late. I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't want this to go
And
this way.
she says, so I noticed that you all came in on your own vessel. Who is the captain of your ship?
Hi.
A Lutrinian as the captain of the ship. That is quite impressive. Have you sailed anything larger than a canoe before?
This ship.
A first time. I have to give that. That's impressive. Might be the largest ship that Lutrinians have sailed, other than some of their caravels, of course.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
A long way from home.
A bit.
You aren't from Evanstar Island, are you?
Can I roll deception?
Yep.
Ooh.
Sure. Well, that's a low roll for her. Yep. Go ahead.
16, maybe.
That's your deception.
It's the way he says it that's
She goes, hi. Done some business over in that area a few times. One of the few isles that has maintained its independence from the Tidewaters. I hope that maintains truth going forward. The Trinians are good people.
Yes, we are.
Well, if there's nothing else, she glances around the table. She looks at Marlo.
Jesus Christ, this fast?
No,
Oh.
she's just like looking at each other. Your roll was so low that she's caught up onto your your nervousness. Yeah.
I drink too much for my drink. There's a normal sip amount, and then there's I'm sipping a lot right
Like
now.
when you swallow so much, it like hurts.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna no, it's great talking to you.
Well,
Yeah, I look forward to a partnership. God. Yes, partnership.
of course. Well, we will be spending many days together, I imagine.
Yep.
Beauty sleep for those adventuring. For the rest of us, we still need you up at dawn. And she looks at the rest of the crew, and there's another table of what looks like a gnome with just grease all over him. And a short dwarven figure, very like if the Hulk was a dwarf, kind of like that look. And they're kind of sitting over there, and they, hey, gotcha, Captain. And she heads upstairs, Misty very close at her heels, nipping up.
Mark face plants the second the table.
No. You did pretty well, Marlo.
No, shut up. Don't. No, it wasn't. I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to do anything. That's the problem. I wasn't trying to like be or try. It just. Oh, God damn it.
Okay. Pretty women make me
appearing
nervous.
from nowhere, kicking, cursing, and disappearing was not the most awkward thing at the table tonight.
It's true.
I don't think they could tell you were a werewolf.
The three crew members that are sitting nearby go, well, we can now.
I'm like a cool werewolf, though. Just so you know.
That's true. That is true.
One of
I'll go
them's
check
like,
on Judy and see if they want to share.
get another drink for the table over here. They need it. Tom sets tankards down in front of you again. So you go outside to check on Jury.
I've been casting spells outside.
What have you been casting? How
I
many
will-
spells have you cast, Jury?
Depends on how long is left.
Not
of
say
them.
anything.
I cast.
Probably, let's say you probably, depending on your spells, you probably have time to cast 3 or 4.
I cast Dimension Door and just move a little bit.
Okay. It's fine. Nothing happens.
I cast Dimension Door and I move a little bit.
Okay. Nothing happens.
I cast Dimension Door and I move a little bit.
Okay. So make a D100 for me, please.
Damn. Okay. Oh God. I rolled 57. All these middle rolls. Middle chart.
Yeah. 50, 60.
So this one's
Okay.
weird. Because you're already bald.
Actually, I put hair back on me, magical hair.
Okay, so as soon as you pop out of the dimension door, you just feel like as all the magical hair that you put on your head just like falls out.
I hate whatever's happening.
I'm sorry you keep getting the bad rolls.
this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Is Abel outside to see this?
So Abel, you do pop out in time to see.
I'm
Yeah.
going back and forth 3 times, and on the third one, my hair falls out, and then I'm like, oh
At least you didn't get the one above that.
God.
But Abel, you do find Jordan as the magical hair is falling off his head and kind of drifting in the wind.
Oh, yes. From the doorway. What are you doing?
Science. Arcane science.
It looks like you're testing your magic. Is there something you need to tell me? Since we're not keeping secrets anymore?
We're keeping some secrets.
We are keeping some secrets, but if your magic is on the fritz before we're going into a fight, that's a secret I think you should let us know. Or at least let me know, so maybe we can think of a way to help you.
My mom did something to me. Unlocked something. I think that's what this is.
Unlocked some sort of magic that...
Yeah, it was magic. Something magical.
Can I cast with your permission? I don't know, like, would identify do anything?
No, you can make an Arcana check though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With your permission, and I hold my hand out for a jury.
You can use your brain with my permission.
Okay. And I'm just gonna look over jury, maybe look at the dulcimer a little bit. What am I doing, an Arcana?
Yep.
Yeah.
Natural 20 for a 30.
Natural 20.
Wow.
I would say that there was no way that Abel could possibly have picked up on this. But
I'm having like
a natural 20,
cast
yeah.
little spells and stuff, and just
yeah, you're in a zen kind of flow for a moment with the threads of the arcane. And you're not quite familiar with the type of magic that powers juries necessarily. Like you're familiar with the bardic magics that jury does, since they are also arcane in nature. But you're picking up on something wild surrounding Jordan. something that you've encountered in only one other place.
Mm-hmm.
The Feywild.
The Feywild. Julie, have you had any encounters with a Fey recently?
I feel like you're holding my hands at this point, and I like wrench your hands up, and I'm like, what do you? Why is this related to Fey stuff?
It's just the type of magic that seems to be mingling with your normal spell casting. It's very reminiscent of the time that we spent in the Feywilds.
Fey magic?
Does that make any sense to you?
Can I roll Arcana to see how many of the pieces I put together from this?
You can roll an intelligence check.
Okay, that works for me. Oh, not the dice roll that one.
Ties to the Fey?
I only rolled an 8. But Jerry really doesn't know a lot about Fey.
No,
culture,
not at all.
So this makes a lot of sense.
Interestingly, you don't put any pieces together from this conversation, but one more piece is added from your memory. Of all of the places that your father taught you about, and all the planes of existence that you studied and that you read about, the Feywild is very interestingly absent from all of your studies.
I don't know anything about Fey or the Feywild or anything like that. I just know that Mom says she unlocked something in me. She undid a lock, and it was arcane.
Well, maybe it's something that you can meditate on tonight.
I think I'm gonna do some alcoholic meditation.
Whatever brings you to that state of zen.
Yeah, what would you do?
I would probably play with my puzzle box, honestly.
Freddie, you
That means different things in different cultures.
It's not
That's what
you think it is. It is a mind game.
Abel,
Something
I say
to
this
keep
with so much
your mind
respect.
shut.
You're a fucking nerd, and I love you.
Yeah, the equivalent of saying like my form of meditation is to play with a Rubik's Cube.
Or to do like Sudoku.
Yeah.
That brings me no joy. Thank you. I'm gonna go inside and drink with pirates, probably.
All right. If there's nothing else that the ticket takers would like to accomplish for the evening, you can bed down and get your rest in preparation for your rescue mission tomorrow.
I'll just fill everyone else in about
Cool.
the conversation we just had.
Yeah. So Jury lets you in on
After we get a drink in, I tell everyone
what he has
what's going
discovered
on.
outside. Yeah.
Who's there? Can Mar put pieces together right now?
Make an intelligence check.
Roll smart, please. Roll smart.
Roll smart.
If you could roll a smart check for me.
What the fuck is mine?
You said with advantage because of all the information.
Yeah, because you're getting help from Abel.
Thank you. I needed it. Okay. I think it's a +3. Yeah. 19.
Oh.
It's the nagging feeling that you've had, like rubbing in the back of your head for the last day and a half, that really cinches the deal for you. Why the hell did Wisteria care about what was on your hand?
I looked down at my hand.
And you see the ring that Robin Goodfellow gave you.
I won't say anything.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
So
Where are we staying on the ship?
I don't have any proof. I don't know. I mean,
All right. My thing is, if we're splitting into 2 rooms, I do think we should go back to our ship and stay in one room.
okay.
And keep
I
a
would
watch.
agree.
So you all make your way back to the ship. Who's going to keep first watch?
Jury feels like they're dying. They'll take first watch.
Okay, Juridan takes first watch. So you all bed down for the evening.
By yourself?
Juridan.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do pairs, or are we gonna do?
So you can do pairs.
I'll take first watch with Jury.
I was actually gonna suggest Mar take first watch.
Oh,
Okay, so-
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Mar and Jury take first watch. The rest of you bed
Abel
down.
tries to stick around, and Marlo just gives him that look like,
Mar just goes, I'd really like some cousin bonding.
Okay, good. So,
sure, you go right ahead. Yeah.
Mar and Jury, you're on the deck of the ship, guarding the entrance to the hold area where everyone else is sleeping. Anything that you'd like to do while you're doing your watch?
I give Mar
Make a perception check, Marlo. Yeah.
I give Mar inspiration too.
Okay.
I hope that doesn't do anything.
Nope.
Is it perception check with advantage because Jury's helping?
Yes, and then you can add a D8 on top.
And it's D8.
Because you're better at them than I, so you should go ahead.
This is gonna be fucking killer. Let's go. 29.
So the watch goes by without incident.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything to me, or are we going to sit
really
awkwardly? Okay, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I think Mar's quiet for a while.
Yeah.
We're just kind of piping up somewhat suddenly. Going, if I had a theory, and I wasn't positive about it, and I didn't know if the answer was more harmful than helpful, would you want to hear it?
Mar, let's kill the fuck out of a weird blood-sucking invisibility monster. And then after I think we kill that thing, I would be ready to hear whatever you have to say.
I go right.
I think there's been a little too much today specifically.
No, you've had a lot in the past 24 hours. So
let's book in that for afterwards.
Yeah,
it'll be a nice little treat.
Yeah.
A treat.
Okay.
It will be.
All right.
Great.
You wake up. Who for the second watch?
Who is
Saurus and
Abel will go.
Saurus and Abel. Okay. So you all go ahead and make one of you make a perception check, or both of you. But if one of you does it, it's with advantage.
I've got a good perception.
Source, you wanna?
Okay.
Okay, with advantage, Saurus.
That's a 2 and a 19 plus 6. So 25.
25. The watch goes by without incident. The only thing that you really hear is like the sound of distant, like a night bird of some kind, probably hunting in the marshes. But other than that, things are quiet.
Okay.
All right, Kimana.
All right. And then is anybody doing it with Kamana, or is Kamana going to be alone on deck?
I'll do a double watch.
You'll do a double watch, Saurus. It is possible to still get a full rest with doing a double watch. Saurus might just have to sleep in a little bit tomorrow.
I haven't burned anything, so
you're good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Kamana and Saurus, you come up. One of you with advantage, or both of you make separate perception checks.
What's your perception, Rob?
plus 6.
All right, I got plus 9. I'll just give me a hand. And I'll
All right, Kamana with advantage. Saurus with his one eye pointing things out.
Yes.
But I have big ears.
You do. That's true. Yeah.
21.
21. Similarly, as the night goes into the darkest parts, an eerie quiet settles over the harbor. An early morning sea fog begins to kind of roll in along with the waves, muffling the sounds of Bogtown, dampening the lights of the torches. They just become a dull glow off in the distance. But you go by without a hitch.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next morning, you all awake, and you're in the hold, and each of you kind of comes to. Marlo, Jury, Saurus, Kamana, you're stretching as the morning goes, and knowing that you've got this journey ahead of you.
I check my list.
Yes.
Do I remember the list? I remember I made a list.
You remember you made a list, yeah.
Check my list.
Yeah, it's so weird that you put a name on there of somebody who doesn't exist. So you all wake up, and Marlo, there's a piece of paper on a cot next to you. I just sent it to all of you. You can pull it up.
Josh
Bailey.
Josh Bailey villain art.
Um,
No, what the hell is this? What the hell is that?
but there's a name.
What?
There's a name that says Abel. Abel's not.
Wait, this is just a note?
Yeah, and it's not in none of your handwriting.
What the fuck is this fucking Joker ass shit? I hate this.
Abel probably wrote.
What?
Oh my
You
God,
don't know
that's
who
weird.
Abel is, Jury.
Yeah, we don't. No,
Yeah.
no.
I
was saying that it's me.
I will run up and I'll go, hey, ticket takers, fucking meeting, all four of us.
No, all 4 ticket takers, as they've
Four of
always
us.
been.
I shoved the note down. Whose fucking prank was this? What the hell is this?
That's not my handwriting.
Makes
No,
no,
I know,
weird
you're-
drawing.
I don't I draw normal shit. This is weird.
I go, does this mean anything to you? It's like my weird list that has like a random person's name. Who the fuck is this?
Who the fuck is Abel Abby? What?
Um,
Can I roll a history check for a person named Abel?
Yeah, sure.
A natural 20? Which I still don't think is gonna do anything
Like
for me.
the name Abel doesn't mean anything to you, but you seem to remember like that you were working with the Abioye family in Nuevia, a man named Ogun and his wife Orisha.
Where is the team meeting happening?
Probably on the deck.
On the deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I make a either a wisdom or an intelligence check to like what I'm saying here is like Kaimana correlates the name with like all of the advanced tech that's on the ship
Sure. You
and
can.
how it couldn't have just been something
you can
anybody
make it-
here came up with.
You can
Yeah,
make an
like,
intelligence check, yeah.
like we didn't make this shit.
and the whole point of Juridan making the list was this is who we are.
Yeah, I remember that
So-
happening.
Yeah, so we
There's
would
a
be
name
aware
on the
that
list, but you
probably
have no idea who
Yeah.
that person is.
Something
yeah.
is weird.
Oh
Obviously.
no.
All right, so
Forget-
either an intelligence save or an
Evil?
intelligence check.
Just an intelligence check.
Could it
With
be a wisdom?
advantage because you have the list. Yeah.
I hate.
I go back downstairs and I count cots.
Well, you guys
You
have
have
like
extra. There's
8
always
cots. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Alright,
I mean,
so I-
there's people.
Oh, can I
stuff.
look around? Can I investigate for if there's like
Yes.
any like stuff that's a person's that's not one of ours?
You can make an investigation check. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
I
Both
rolled
of you
a
can-
12.
Do you want to help me?
Yeah, you
I
can
have
help. Yeah.
Okay.
You got what? Come on.
I got 12.
I mean, you know that you couldn't have made this. And it's weird because you're like, well, none of us could have made this. Well, we got the ship from Nuevia, right? It's a Nuevian ship. So in your head, what's clarifying is like, well, this is just Nuevian technology. Yeah.
I got a 16 to investigate around.
Okay. So you don't find anything that doesn't belong to anyone here, with the exception of an odd circular device. It's got a lot of levers and buttons and odd things on it. It was like rolled underneath the cot where the note was left. But you do find in your search near one of the portholes an odd mucus.
Oh no. I pick up the device. I put it in my backpack because it looks like something Kaimana would play with. And then I will show the mucus to everybody and be like, I think we just lost a ticket taker.
What? Do you think they were
Yeah.
that important? Hopefully.
I mean, if we don't, I mean, I don't know. If a woman could forget her whole husband, then maybe, you
If
know.
it was my husband. You're probably not.
What if it was someone in my family?
There's a moment in the hold where you're having the conversation and Kaimana says, what if it was someone in my family? But all you see is, You hear no sound as all of you suddenly realize that a hooded figure has come down into the hold and crushes a rock in their hand. Ronnie, who do they see? Do you have your thing muted? This is supposed to be a moment, and you just... Okay, there you go. Who do they see?
I'm back. You see a slender, tall, lean young man, probably 16 years old, very young. He pulls back his hood and reveals he's a half elf. And I crushed the stone, right?
So you all find yourself surrounded by a circle of silence, which is just weird because as he appears and the silence hits your ears, at the very last moment, right before all sound fades away, you all hear the gentle of a creature singing, and it is silenced from your hearing, and you can't hear it anymore. And the moment that happens, Abel pops back into your mind. You remember who he is. You have a clear memory of who this person was, and that he is very important to you, and that he is in a grave set of danger. And this man appears before you, and he holds up a handwritten note. What does the note say, Ronnie?
The part that you wrote for me?
No. What would he do to introduce himself, knowing that it was silence? Yeah.
The note will say, my name is Ravik, member of the Seablade crew. I have important information. Follow me.
All right. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
What the fuck? I put him in the member list.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I am super excited about this character. So please just lean into this for me. You guys.
This was the first character he ever created. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when I was gonna bring, when I was like, you guys are meeting with the Seablade crew, I was like, I'll give Ronnie a chance to play his Ravik, because he's never gotten a chance to really play Ravik. So
I think we did a one-on-one initial session.
We did, yeah. You did one little mission with the Seablade. You fought a dragon wormling, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that made me so emotional.
A little teen pirate.
Yeah.
Was he really that important? Let's just.
My husband?
I'm probably some guy who can't get off a firebolt. Let's just leave.
I changed your name in the group.
I'm reminded of the Buffy episode where they all lose their memory and Spike thinks he's Giles' son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that episode of Buffy.
A great episode.
It was like Xander and.
Yeah, and Xander and Willow think they're boyfriend and girlfriend, but then
oh my god,
Willow gloms on to Tara, and it's just like at a certain point, it's like, I think I just realized I'm really, really gay.
Yeah.
I love that episode. That's a good.
Yeah,
that's a good comparison.
Josh, you emotionally did a lot to be this episode.
I'm so sorry.
Emotional, damn.
I asked for enough more on you.
That's true.
Wasn't that nice of me?
Oh man, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, this shit was devastating, yo.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot Abel.
Fucking smiles through the window. I hate that shit.
Oh, that's so scary.
Did Abel write that?
Yeah, that's my approximation of Abel's handwriting. I apologize.
He does not write like that.
Well, I imagine it could be him scared at night.
Yes.
Right. Like a fear.
I know.
Fear journaling.
I'm just imagining like a little 14-year-old RPing, through text, and it's like the little asterisk smiles through the window. That was the vibe I got, and I was like, what the fuck is this meme?
I love it.
It would have been a lot more technical with his writing,
but we will figure out. We'll get the information from Ravik next week, and then hopefully save Abel's life. But I would love to talk to Ace.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's gone.
Sorry, the teacher has to keep me again.
I know. Sorry. So we'll see you all.
Picking on our friend.
We'll see you all next week. Yes.
Bye, everyone.